Hello guys, my name is Harry and this is my review. In the previous video, I did a review about how to change the gasket seal. As a matter of fact, in my motorcycle, I've been using this one for over 1.5 years. So there was few of the leakage between the gearbox and the engine as well, and I came to realize that all of that, the oil leakage, was due to the fact that the oil seal was worn out and there was a need for changing it. So as a matter of fact, when you keep using the motorcycle for a long time, it come to the point whereby the motorcycle seals wears and tear as time goes on. But remember, when you're still using the motorcycle, the oil viscosity thicken or loosen, become more thin. So it's very easy for the oil to leak. So if there is oil leakage, it means that there is decrease even the volume of the amount of the oil which exists in the gearbox. So I took my motorcycle to my friend who is a mechanic, and he has some more of the tools he can work on. He took the motorcycle top part or the engine top part and they made a repair by it, and we made the change for the gasket. So in the meantime, whereby we were changing it, we came to realize that there are other stuffs to fix on, and one of them was to change the chain kit. The chain kit consists of 3 stuffs. The first one consists of the chain itself. The second one consists about the rear sprocket, and the third one consists about the front small sprocket, which is connected to the gearbox and which is responsible for transferring the power from the gearbox via the chain and send the power back to the rear sprocket. So I considered about changing them, and everything went perfect. But in the changing process, I came to realize that there are rear bushes, whereby these bushes they are being attached on the hub of the wheel, so that there is smooth contact between the rear wheel and the rear sprocket. So we considered about changing them, and in the following part you can clearly see. So down here, if you consider see about in the center of the wheel, so that's where the hub is located, and because of the hub it was worn out, so consider about changing them. So anyway guys, enjoy the rest of the videos and the other stuffs. So guys, as we proceed, there are a couple of the things we have just recognized. So as you can see right now, we are about to change the drive chain, the front sprocket and the rear sprocket. If I can pull them together, because you can clearly see that all of them, they have just worn out. You can see the teeth are out. So before changing even that one, but you also have to recognize that the rear bush which holds the rear sprocket, all of them are just worn out as well. So we would consider about changing the rear sprocket, the rear bush as well. And then you can see how they are total one. If you can see, all of them are total one. So all of this need to be changed, are going to be replaced with the new ones. So now he's trying to loosen all of this so that the bolts can come out. So now all the bolts are being loosened so that they can be separated from the sprocket and the hub, which holds the bushes in reference to the hub or to the wheel. And for the comparison, so this is the old sprocket. If you can see, all of the teeth are worn out. You can just barely look. All of the teeth are worn out. This is the old one. And this is the new one. This is the new one which is going to be replaced. So it has a 45. It has 45 teeth. I bet even this one has the same number. Yeah, I think it's the same. So this is going to be replaced by this one. And this is the front sprocket, which is going to be replaced by this. I mean, this one is going to be replaced by this one. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. If you can see, all of the teeth are worn out. All of the teeth are worn out on this one. Some of the teeth are worn out, but the new one is going to work out. Disconnecting the chain connector. And this is the old chain. It can be used to some extent, but in reference to the how the sprocket, the rear sprocket and the front sprocket being worn, I just considered about changing both of them. So just changing the whole kit. So for the replacement, the mechanic is going to replace these. These are handmade. These are handmade. I can say they are handmade. They are not. I mean, they are not like the originals or aftermarket. All of these are made locally. So we just installed the bush, and right now we are. I mean, the guy is trying to replace back the wheel on the swing arm as it's supposed to fit. he's trying to align so that the rear wheel is well centered. Now he's putting the front sprocket on its place. The front sprocket is small in size compared to the rear one. Tightening with the Allen key. So at the moment he's installing the new chain. The chain is secured. Now he's doing some adjustments so that the chain is well fitted. So it seems the chain is well aligned. Now he's trying to tighten up. And for every setting of the chain, there is something called tension. So the tension is how the chain play a little bit in reference to how much it is being tightened from the front sprocket to the rear sprocket. The rear sprocket is totally fixed, but the front sprocket, which is small one, plays a little bit. For now, you won't see if it's playing because the tension of the chain is holding this one in place. But before tightening this one, it could be it was easy to see how this front sprocket is playing. But at the moment, everything is really set up, and we will see how further the setting is going on. Okay, so now it's time to replace the sprocket cover, the chain cover. The rear one is done. It is being tightened up. The front one, the top one on the process.
Hivi vya kwaga vijapa nimetumia tu vya kutoka na pikipiki. Wao wanapobadilisha hizo studies zimekufa, ndo naweza kubadilishia. Sasa waweza kutoka nazo na hizo. Okay.
And for the rear sprocket, there was this other setup. There was some studs and there was some other bolts. But the original box which came with the motorcycle seems to be pretty so much strong. So we opted in not using these rather than we use the originals which came with the motorcycle. So this one aren't going to be used. Maybe for future uses we will consider that. So the rear cover is being replaced back. He's draining up the oil so that he can replace the other one. Tightening it so that it doesn't stay loose. So there are some of the stuffs like changing the oil on your motorcycle. If you think you can do it, please do it. But if you think you can't do it, try to consider seeing a mechanic and make sure that you go through the user manual so that you don't mess up on anything. So everything seems to be in place on this side. The battery cover is being replaced back in place. And now the oil filter is being removed as well. On the previous video, I did change the oil filter because it was still in good shape, but now it's time to change it. Filter in place. And there is something I have noticed so far. If you consider about changing the oil filter timely, the motorcycle is subjected to stay longer without being with any problems. So every time you consider about changing the oil, consider about changing the oil filter as well. And every time you're doing oil change, make sure you have an oil catcher so that you don't pollute the environment. Take whatever you try to use, but make sure you catch the oil so that it doesn't spill on the ground. And now it's time to pour the oil. And the oil we're using now is the one which I've been using most of the time. Is Total High Performance, and it's a mineral one, not synthetic. And for this motorcycle, they just use just 1 liter is enough. But if you're using different model of the motorcycle, the amount of the oil in your engine is subject to change, or is subject to vary. It's the same as the price of it. The cover for the gear, the cover for the gearbox oil is being replaced back. the residual or the remaining of the oil is being taken to the nice place for dumping. So right now everything is secured in place. Everything has been checked in. The engine, the gearbox is okay. Everything has been changed. The transmission, the drive chain has been changed as well. The sprocket, the line, the tire is well centered. So right now we'll take the motorcycle to the bay wash, and then we will see how it does later once everything is done.